Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I'm going to get started right here at Genesis 1 and 14. And it says, "And the Most High said, Let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days, and years." So, up in the heavens are used to discern the times, both in the flesh or carnally and spiritually, because you can see prophetic signs in the heavens. Verse 15, "And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And the Most High made two great lights. This is the sun and the moon. The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And the Most High set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from darkness. And the Most High saw that it was good." It was tawab. It was beautiful. And the point being, he made the stars also, because what we have coming up tomorrow is the planetary alignment. And 7 planets are going to be lining up, and we'll actually be able to see it with the naked eye, at least most of the planets. And this is something that could mean a transition. It could be showing a transitional period. And so this is significant to see this planetary alignment that is coming. But I've been looking up at these stars and seeing them, which earlier in this month of January, I could actually look up and I could see them kind of coming into alignment. It wasn't perfect or anything like that, but I could see the stars, could see Mars, see Jupiter, and then I think it was Venus and Saturn, possibly. It was earlier in the month, so I forget which ones I was seeing. But I saw 6 stars lining up. Couldn't see Uranus, but I knew it was there. But anyway, as I'm looking at the stars, and I've been going out and looking at them a lot recently, I was thinking about how Esau has even defiled the stars, because the stars all have Greco-Roman names, and the constellations as well, and the stories or the mythology that's connected to it. It's all idolatry. And to even do something as innocent as looking at the stars, it's in a defiled state currently, because they had to have had Hebrew names originally, and Esau has basically taken it over, as he does with everything. Esau being those small hatters, those 1948ers, as well as the rest of Caucasia. They're all the same people. They all go back to Edom. And they have touched all of the Lord's creation, which he called good, or tawab. But I've got pulled up here the planets and their Greco-Roman names, and which gods they go with, because they all go with a Greek or Roman god. And so the names of they're just getting straight into it. They've got Hermes, which is the Greek name for Mercury. So we have Mercury up there, and that was a Roman god, the Roman god of travel. And you'll see Mercury with wings on his shoes and wings on his hat. He also carries a caduceus, which is the stick with the 2 serpents wrapping up it. But that shows the Greek god of travel, I believe commerce as well. We've got Aphrodite, which comes next, which is the Greek name for Venus, and that's what the planet's called. And so she's the Roman goddess of love and beauty. And Venus is actually one of the brighter stars that you'll see that's in our solar system. And so they named it after Aphrodite. Then you've got Mars, which is that red planet. It's been very visible recently. And that's the Roman god of war. The Greek counterpart is Ares. And you can see why they name it after Mars or Ares, because it's blood red, and that shows the war, shows violence and blood, which might as well call that one Edom. Adawam, that's that star. Because all the stars, once Yahushua comes back, they're gonna go back to Hebrew names. All of them. We might call Mars Ash for fire, because it's red. We'll see. Or Adawam, because it's red. But moving on, you got you got Jupiter, which is the largest star in our solar system, and this is named after, or Jupiter's the Roman counterpart to Zeus, so the king of the Roman gods. Then you've got Kronos, which Kronos was Zeus's father. Kronos tried to eat all his children. He was a titan. And that one corresponds with Saturn, and that's what the elite worship. And there's that hexagon on the poles of Saturn, and that's where you get the cube that they over in Western Asia that they worship, the Middle Easterners or Ishmaelites worship. And he was the Roman god of agriculture. Then you've got Uranus, which is the Greek god of the sky. And you've got Neptune, who's the Roman god of the sea and fresh water, the counterpart of the Greek god Poseidon. And then also Pluto, which is named after Hades. It may no longer be a planet, but Pluto is the farthest object in the solar system, just as Hades, who's the god of the underworld. And then they didn't put it here, and I've been looking this up, and they never put it there, but Earth itself, in Greek and Roman culture, or I forget which one. I think in Greek it's Gaia, and then in Roman, the Romans called it Terra Mater, and she was the goddess of the earth. And so you look at all this stuff, and then also the sun. I think that's Helios, which is another god. But you look at all this, and it's all completely defiled. Everything has been named after idols and these pagan gods, and it's not going to last. It's not going to last for very much longer. And these planets are lining up, which shows a transition, and we're coming into a point where we're actually watching the fall of Esau's world. And with his fall, all these different names that he's put onto the planets, onto the different lands, all these philosophies he's put out here, and everything that he's touched is going to be overwritten. It's going to be basically deleted, almost like it was a dream. It's not going to last. And you could even take this into Psalms 49, where it says their inward thought is that their houses will last forever. They name their lands after their own kind, or after their own name. Salakia, just trying to paraphrase, and I'm sure you know which verse I'm talking of, but they dedicated the stars to their Greek and Roman gods. But let's get back into the scriptures, and we'll go to Obadiah, because this is what I thought of first when coming to the realization. I mean, it's not a new realization. I've always known it was after Greek and Roman gods and mythology, but it kind of just hit the other day thinking about Esau and how he's touched everything. But this is what I went to, Obadiah 1 and 4. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars. And we always take this into the satellites that he's put up into the atmosphere and his space travel and him trying to go to the moon, even though he never went. We always relate it to that, but they also named the stars and the constellations after their idols, after their Greco-Roman gods, and they've set their nest up there. But it says, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Jehovah. It's all going to come down, every bit of it. We won't be calling Mars Mars. It'll be a Hebrew name after this. After this age is over, nothing's going to stand. None of his marks will be left. And since I mentioned it, I wasn't actually planning on going here, but we might as well go to Psalms 49 and 11, since I butchered it trying to say it earlier. But Psalms 49 and 11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. They don't understand, or really don't, they're in disbelief that they could be genocided or G-sided, taken off of this planet, their seed line. But it's going to happen, says the Lord. We're just in the book of Obadiah, and Obadiah 1 and 18 says it will happen. And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And so you can look at America itself. It's named after Amerigo Vespucci. Or even look at the state of Georgia. It was named after one of the King Georges. They call it after themselves, and they've taken on those Greco-Roman gods, and they named the stars and the constellations after, and they think it's going to stand. They think it's going to remain that way, but it won't, because they're being cast down as I speak. Matthew 24 and verse 29. It says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light. And this could be something similar to an eclipse, but we'll see what the Lord does when he does this. And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. This is going into the nukes, and it's also going into the elite being taken out of the position that they're in, because they're in their heaven currently, but they're going to be taken down to hell, to a very, very low position within the earth. Their star's going to fall. But continuing on with this, in Revelation 6 and verse 12, and it says, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. It makes me think of solar eclipses, in which just last year we saw the eclipse where it's a big X over America, a big thaw, the last letter, showing the end for Babylon the Great. And then it says, and the moon became as blood, and we've had quite a few blood moons over the last year, because the Lord, he said he was going to put signs in heaven, and these are some of those signs in heaven, including the planetary alignment, showing us that we are at the end of Esau's world. And it says, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Speaking of Babylon being nuked. or this third world war, which is going to turn nuclear, but also showing the stars of heaven falling into the earth. This lofty position that Esau is in, it's going to be taken away. And it's going to be taken away via nuclear war and Yahushai returning. It says, "And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places." Showing that mushroom cloud and the great destruction and power of nuclear weapons. "And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains." So the elite have all these bunkers that they have set up, these deep underground military bases as well. And they're going to be hiding in there, but they're really just being preserved to be the first fruits of captivity. And it says, "And said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb." Because they're terrified of Yahushai. So Yahushai is coming to judge them and to remove them from power. So, and they don't want that one bit. Not to mention, they know in their hearts that they messed up, and that they're wicked, and that they deserve this great punishment that is coming. It says, "For the day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand?" Which the elite and their power structure and all the names and philosophies and everything they put out here, it's not going to stand. It's not going to keep going from generation to generation. It says, "The fashion of this world fadeth away." And you can even include those Greco-Roman names for the stars. They're going to fade away. And everything will be put back in order. Everything will be named appropriately and with Hebrew names. And everything will be righteous again. No idolatry, just staring at the stars. None of that. And so, Lord will, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.